go, I release, and I know.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. A few years ago I had a vision. The vision was comprised of witnessing members of Congress really going through a very tumultuous time. I had envisioned that within the walls of Congress there were questions about trust between themselves, but there was also the question of trust with Americans and the leadership of the country. So I went about to search for members of Congress who would be open to share with me the depths of their heart, what was at the base of their conscience. And I came across some of the most beautiful people that I walked away with this experience that our country is in good hands. Here we are many years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later, after I had actually initially recorded Soul Talk on the Hill. And we're witnessing stuff that we have never seen in the United States of America. Trust within the walls of the United States Congress is at the all-time lowest it has ever been. As you know, just a few weeks ago, there were riots on the Capitol Hill. It was an insurrection. There were a lot of people hurt emotionally, mentally, physically. Soul Talk on the Hill invites me into the walls of the halls of Capitol Hill to sit and have a heart-to-heart conversation with members of Congress about what matters to them the most, what's at the base of their heart, their character, the content of their deepest, most innermost feelings. Never before has there been a meditation expert or an emotional wellness expert or even a yogi soul, however you want to put me in whatever label you want to. But there's never been someone like me that's been given the trust and the honor to enter into the walls of Capitol Hill and have a heart-to-heart conversation with our congressional leaders. What I love about Soul Talk on the Hill, it makes us see them for who they really are. Put aside all the political jargon that goes on. We get to see really who are the people that are creating our policies, voting for our rights. These are good people. And given the opportunity to really speak from the depths of their heart, the country, our cities, our districts will continue to keep thriving. As See Good TV re-releases this season of Soul Talk on the Hill, it is my pure wish that you sit back and relax and enjoy each of the episodes. Just go into the content, the questions, their expressions. You'll learn a lot about these people. They're good people. For anyone right now, it's a hard time. Globally, in the United States, it might be even more so, one of the hardest times it has ever endured. But I know that we will prevail, and I know that we will succeed. Soul Talk on the Hill is to invite you to give our congressional members a second chance, to begin to find ways to communicate with them from matters of the heart and not matters of the political spectrum. What's more important than anything is what is the need of the time internally, and how does my conscience and my heart find peace in my choices. Soul Talk on the Hill asks important questions, and the congressional leaders gave very profound answers. If you've got any comments or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. Soul Talk on the Hill is not endorsing any political parties or any candidate. It is simply having a heart-to-heart conversation with those who gave me the permission to come into the sacredness of their office and delve into their hearts. Enjoy Soul Talk on the Hill. Be well. Be safe. God bless you. Please, take care of yourselves. Hello everyone, welcome to your next normal or the next normal. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. I'm so thrilled, especially because Sister Jenti was interviewed on Republic News in India yesterday, and in just like 2 days, it's like almost 200,000 views. And she did such a great interview. The interview was for about 45 minutes, and she shared everything on the Brahma Kumaris. So if you haven't seen that, please Google it and take a look at it. It's amazing. If you're joining us for the first time on Next Normal, what took you so long? We've been having a lot of fun here, and we've been doing a lot of good things. But of course, it's our pure feelings that you're doing really super, super well. We're learning a lot of new things, and I think many of us are letting go of a lot of old things, and there's a lot getting stirred up. I mean, are you feeling stirred up? Are you feeling like things are shifting in here like they never have before? I was on a meeting call today, and I got a little confused, you know. There was like an assignment that was given, and then the person on the call was like talking to me like I'm the one that made the assignment, and then I got so confused, and for a moment there I kind of stepped back a little bit and thought to myself, what is this? I mean, did I miss something? And I feel like that's how we're feeling, you know, with this pandemic. And if you're on the East Coast, everybody, there's a massive snow. I mean, ice. The temperatures are freezing. It's not an ice storm, but it's a snow storm. Many people don't know this, but I used to stutter that I couldn't finish a sentence. So forgive me if some words never come out right. Or if some phases or phrases I just can't find the pronunciation. So just be patient with me. I'm really doing great considering how I used to be when I was a teenager. Oh, it just was so awful. Anyway, it's ice outside. Little Happy, who's our little service animal, little pet, she's about 11 pounds. She was all intoxicated to go outside, and she went down the steps and she just slid her way like whoop, and she looked at me like, what's happening? Just like I didn't know what to tell her, because the driveway is a virtual ice rink. Even though we cleared it up, it was just a sleet of ice. I mean, you just needed to take out your ice skates and just go around the island and just keep skating. It was just amazing. Anyway, apart from all of that, we're living in this virtual environment, and sometimes we wonder, is it real? I mean, are we really being real? Where's this taking us? And I'm sure you've seen movies where they have shown you AI, which is the next frontier, where artificial intelligence will be the way. And I was sharing, like, I just can't imagine that I'll be talking like I'm in the air and I'm just talking to somebody. Yeah, you know. There are now security gadgets where you look into the system and it takes your pupil, and then you get access to go in. That's the only way you can get into the vault. There are things where now you're getting a chip injected in your system, and then you can be monitored or checked if there's information. If it's needed, they can just check the chip and everything is there. So maybe the pandemic is just really the preparation that it's helping all of us to go through to get prepared for this virtual world. I was speaking to an elder, a senior citizen, the other day, and she was so cute. She's talking about the zooming and the swiping and the upping and the downing, and she's like in her 80s. And I bet she could work an iPad better than a lot of us. A lot of people are learning a lot of new things, and I connect to technology and an iPhone or a smartphone, I should stand corrected, a smartphone, smart watches, all these gadgets are actually trying, if we think deep enough, they are actually instrument in helping us to develop our ESP, our intuition, our ability to see into the future, to use the power of our thoughts much more effective. And our conversation is about how to really deal with relationships in this virtual world. I've heard that a lot of new and healthy relationships have been designed. Actually, I've heard a lot of people look for companionship online, and they will swipe left or right, yes or no. Forgive me if I don't know what that is, but people look for each other, and very good relationships are formed, and I've heard some awful ones are also formed in a virtual way first, and then physically you meet. And now we used to physically meet, and now we've gone into a virtual environment. And that's taking a lot of our mental power more than anything else. And our physical being is not moving as much as we are accustomed to. But before the pandemic, when you and I were getting on flights and getting in a car and going to this destination or that meeting or meeting somebody, you know, how much time did that take? And now that we're home, it's like, I don't know, time is still eluding us, right? Santosh today was like, I just have to stay focused today, sister. We've been on back-to-back calls and meetings today, and we haven't had a break. I mean, I actually quickly made lunch for everyone, and we were just looking at everything and says, what's going on? I mean, we used to have to go and meet people into this. Why? It's just like that. So in the virtual world, we as souls are getting acclimated to becoming large. We're getting acclimated to becoming more unlimited. We are getting acclimated because things are moving so fast, there are less attachments. And when your intellect has less attachment and has a broad way of looking at things, it can deal with a lot more. Because you're not trying to hold or control or possess anything. You're basically an instrument. And as an instrument, things are getting channeled through you and you are channeling things. But you're not owning, you're not holding, you're not like, this is mine. We had a spiritual class on Sunday, and it was so deep because it talked about the depth of attachment and how attachment really takes away your sovereignty, your power to love, your power to be free. And there's one in particular that I really focused on, and it was the attachment to your nature and your behavior, got like those deep-rooted memories, and how they play out in the way you deal in relationships, the way you earn your money, spend it, the way you wear your clothes, the food you eat, everything. Everything is connected to the way you're interpreting your life. You're either going to be very attached to your name, your form, your gender, your role, your religion, or you're going to be an embodiment of love with your name, your form, your role, your religion. With whatever state of awareness you choose, it'll take you completely different roads, completely a different feeling. Now imagine, I don't know if there's 1 billion people, but I'm pretty sure there are millions of people just online communicating. And I've been wondering, you know, where are we going with this? Where is this taking me? We're still inside of our houses and we're still in front of a technology, and thanks to the inventor of Wi-Fi and taking that satellite up in space, you and I can communicate. Thanks to the invent and the owner of YouTube, Facebook, electricity. It's like everything is just so different, and it's good because we have to break out of our archaic ways. And as we witness what's going on in America, we witness what's going on in Myanmar. I mean, the military has declared a state of emergency for an entire year, and they have arrested all the political leaders that were the opposition. Can you believe that drastic move? You know what? America got saved with this election because that's where America was going to. And somehow there was an angel that fell from above and just said, look, it's the people's decision where this wants to go. But we got very, very close to what Myanmar is now going through. Can you imagine this? What's needed? It's funny because the people are coming together and they're fighting like you wouldn't believe. In a virtual world, do they fight as much? Please give me your answers in the comments section. Give it some thought. How much can you fight or hurt somebody in the virtual world versus when you're in their faces? I've decided to no longer indulge in any news whatsoever. And I'll tell you why. This morning as I was preparing for the day, I thought to myself that, and it happened because of Sister Genti's interview yesterday on Republic TV in India. I said, it was such a good interview because the secular world doesn't give time to our world. And mass media doesn't give a lot of time to what we do, what we say, and who we are. And so I thought to myself, then why should I give them any of my time in terms of if they were to see, visualize, and listen the sharings, the love, the wisdom, the integrity, the empathy, the compassion, the dignity, the respect, the spirituality that comes through our messaging, right? It would change them, wouldn't it? And yet they don't give us time. We had some friends who were inviting some news affiliates in DC. Forget it. They're just not caught up there. They want to talk about politics. They want to talk about who's hating who. They want to talk about who's taking money, who's doing this, who's doing that. And I just thought to myself, why should I let that energy come into me and get polluted and then still try to push the purity and the goodness of my energy forward, knowing that their energy is polluting my consciousness? So if I don't indulge in their stuff, then I can just focus on my stuff. And it was becoming clearer and clearer as I was preparing myself this morning. And I said, yeah, I don't need any of that information. If they choose to run us in the ground, like what's happened in Myanmar, and these government leaders and people in power can't get along with each other and decide to sacrifice the well-being of the citizens of their country, then what am I going to do to stop it? And I thought to myself that as I watched them inside of their virtual world, how much can I do to impact the change that they seem to be pushing out? So let's say that the news helps me to inform me as to where the vaccines are being offered. Good. To be honest with you, your healthcare providers are calling and telling you that anyway. They're telling you where to get your shots, when to get it, what to bring, and so on. Okay, so I get help from my healthcare provider. But then they're talking about a lot of these negative things. It's getting stirred up, and I go, well, I can't go to the Capitol and tell them that they should be nice. I mean, we've done Soul Talk. Soul Talk is basically helping to remind people to get back, but it's as if they're just not there. And I said to myself that I don't want to invest my energy in dark vibrations and vibrations that are just theatrical and uncaring to the well-being of humanity's vibrations. I said, I don't want that anymore. Let me focus on the side of consciousness that raises the vibrations and brings the energy of love and compassion and peace to the world. What am I going to do listening to the senator from this state and the governor from that state and a president that's from there and the vice president and then another president did this and then everybody's fighting and people are moving there? It's just like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to Capitol Hill and go, guys, come on, behave? It would be nice if I could, but I'm wasting my energy. And for some reason it became so clear that sometimes in the virtual world, you can see things that you've been missing, that you have a choice to say, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that energy. How does that energy serve me to move to a higher level of consciousness? I mean, everyone is bickering. And it's just so unhealthy. So today I said, I'm going to focus on our world of spirituality, of love, of God, of purity, of peace, of community, of light. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do with each other and maybe risk our lives as well. But I do know that if I'm engaged in pure karma, good deeds, and I'm having well wishes and pure vibrations and pure feelings for the self, for others, for people, then I don't have to worry whatever happens, the soul is going to carry an insurance policy of good karma. And in the virtual world of building relationships, what I'm recognizing is that we're being offered a second chance to build the energy of that vibration with each other, to be able to grow in a thoughtful way, sincerely, purely, with an open mind, and begin to recognize how important it is to use our greatest resource of the thinking, which is in the mind, with each other. You know, every time I look at you in the lens and I pause for a minute and I go inside of myself, and then I can see you with my third eye of awareness, I just see the beauty of the soul. And that's who we talk to. I don't know your religion. I don't know what you're wearing. I don't know your gender, how much money you have, who you're married to, who you're not married to. What? It's just soul to soul. And that relationship, that relationship of building a soul-to-soul link with another human being is priceless, because it's the real deal. When your relationships are soul-to-soul, they become infinite. They're imperishable. There's something connected to them that is beyond that humanness. And the irony is, you can be so sweet online, you can be so kind on your virtual connections if you choose to, and not everybody is. But what's striking is that when some people come together, they just can't be civil. And I think it's revealing the internal bruise and hurt and pain that is happening in the soul of that one. And that the soul needs love so much, they just don't know where to go to get it. Because in order to access your love, you have to go inside. You're gonna have to go inside of yourself. And I think that there's this kind of an intimacy between us every night, like there's like just a pure intimacy, and it's like we know each other, right? Like we, in a way, it's like we've known each other forever, right? And that's because of the soul-to-soul link. So similarly, when the soul gets connected to God, the Supreme Soul, it's soul-to-soul. So in the teachings of Raj Yoga, I might not have a camera to connect me to God, but I don't need the camera to forge my link to the divine. I just need the awareness that I'm a soul, and the understanding that God is the Supreme Soul. And then I build my relationship with the Divine, with Baba, with God, with Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, Khuda, Bhagwan, Jesus, Lord, Master. Whatever language connects to your personality, it's the same entity. It's just the language resonates more with the heart when I can understand the language, because it's the language that I speak in this particular lifetime. But you and I are having a soul-to-soul link. And we've been having it for almost a year, for those of you who've been with us for a year. Just soul to soul. And even though I know that you can see my skin, my hair, deep down, you're just listening. And maybe you're moving around the house and doing things and getting dinner together and maybe doing some work on the computer as you're listening to the sharings to see if anything will touch your heart. It's still soul to soul. So what's powerful about building relationships in the virtual world is that you're building actually a soul-to-soul link between you and another person. And you're like, there's an intimacy there. When there's a soul-to-soul link, it's like an intimacy between you and another. Sometimes we put so much energy in our physical relationships, you know, that we really want our spouses to really feel us, to know that, you know, respect and love and honor and communication and trust are so important. Like, I really need you to feel what I'm going through, or at least understand me. And actually, your spouse can't do that for you. It's you who have to be your own cure. It's like the more you're able to go inwards and connect to your own world within yourself. At the beginning, it feels like a virtual world, but when you start to live in it, it starts to become for you, this is real. This is my story here behind my eyes. There's a vast world of potential living in me. It's in me. It seems virtual, but it's there. It's in the soul. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's fascinating. Let's take a moment of pause and go into a little meditation together and just think about some of the thoughts that I've just shared, and ask yourself how you're feeling now. Like, what am I feeling? Just go to God or Baba and just say, Baba, what am I feeling as a result of what Sister has shared? What's getting stirred up in me? What's going on in your world behind your eyes, which can feel very virtual if you haven't been there for a long time? Let's take a breath and go inwards. Settling inside of myself, I pause for a moment. And I ask, what does it take, or what will it take to return back to me? To find my real essence, to be my real self. As I replay the tales and the stories of life, I stop at moments that give great joy, but I also stop at the moments that didn't. Sometimes I stay there longer than I want to. But sitting here by the ocean, I'm reminded of how vast the soul is, how unlimited the being of light is. and I allow the flow of the energy of thought to guide me towards that vast part within me, within the soul. What it takes to get back to myself is sometimes just a simple question. And time. A gentle pause. Reflection. And from somewhere deep in the soul, a memory, an image, the light, a story emerges. It's connected to my vision, to my future. And it signals me what to do and when to do it in my now. So I just sit here by the ocean and look through the window of my mind and wait for the real me to emerge. Of sitting by the ocean shore and having that moment. So in terms of building our real relationships with each other in a virtually, conditioned world right now, how are you doing with it? Let me hear your comments now as I go online to see what are your thoughts. Any questions, raise them now, or make your comment in terms of what has it felt like or been like for you to just turn on your laptop or your computer or get onto your smartphone and look to it. Now I want you to know how uniquely different this has been for me. And even though I'm okay with this in you and me, would you believe me if I told you I am not a selfie taker? I think since the smartphone has been in my hands, and I'm swearing on my life, I've taken maybe 5 selfies my whole time. I just could never know how to just do that. And I've seen it, and I thought to myself, it might be even difficult for some folks to just, oh, hi, and even though I know this is the way we're communicating, I was talking to India today, and we went on FaceTime, and I showed them all the snow as I kind of went around, and they looked at everything, and every time I'm talking to this phone, I'm trying to understand its meaning, like, yes, of course, yeah, and I pull back, and I go, is this real? Is this real? Or are we falling under a spell? Like a wicked spell. So I thought to myself that I think the virtual world is really supposed to be helping us to really deepen the soul-to-soul link with each other. And even though we've got a gadget, and on the other side of the gadget is a picture of somebody, but so many people don't turn on their videos, right? Like when we do Zoom meetings, a lot of people don't turn on their Zoom meetings, their Zoom videos. They're like, I don't want you to see me. Why? Maybe I'm walking around the house, maybe I'm not physically dressed, maybe I'm doing 2 things, but I still want to hear what you're saying. It's like, so what's real? What's real are your pure feelings and good wishes. What's real is when you show up a very true version of yourself and you say hello from your place of truth, and from your place of love and spiritual power. What's real is when you stop having expectations from other humans, expecting them to fill your void. In a virtual world, nobody can fill your void. Because when you leave the meeting or close the screen, it's you. And then you wonder, was I just having a real relationship with someone or not? Remember those days when we used to go to the airport? And I know back in my days, we used to see each other's off. We would have like, how many, Santosh? Like we would have like 10, 15 of us at the airport. It's an Indian thing, sorry to tell you. But we would have so many of us at the airport seeing each other off, just saying goodbye, just having that last glance through the eyes, just having that soul moment. And now we're seeing each other online. We're celebrating our birthdays online. We're making big business deals online. We're conducting funeral services online. We are seeing each other if we're departing or sick online. It's been a blessing to somehow still keep us connected, hasn't it? So it's interesting to think about what the real relationship here in the virtual world is trying to perhaps awaken in us, is that we always meant a lot for each other. We always loved each other, that we were always here to look out for each other and care for each other. I don't know how else to put it. Once in a while you get frustrated, but it's not personal. But don't you find it interesting that if you want to just turn off your video and mute your sound, then the person doesn't see you or hear you? Can you do that to your waste and negative thinking? Can you do that if you've had a bad marriage or a bad friendship and the person's face keeps coming up and then the words they were speaking keeps coming up? Can you mute it? Can you just disable the video? I don't want to see that. I don't need to see them. I don't need to see them. I don't need to hear them. Right? I mean, think about it for a little bit. It's a good possibility that we can do that. So in terms of, let me hear what Elizabeth Parker is saying. Om Shanti, I have made a decision since the pandemic started to release the news stories, because I don't need all those opinions in my ear gate. Congratulations, Elizabeth Parker. Nikhil Joshi Kumar, Soul to Soul link. Too good, it touches the heart. Yeah, it's a real heart-to-heart connection, Nikhil Bhai. S. Watson, the video interaction is appreciated, but not really the same. I'm thankful to have a way, though, to stay connected. Me too, me too. I'm glad can you imagine if we didn't have Wi-Fi? What would we be doing? Nancy O'Neill says, I don't like the feeling of a screen or a camera in between, and I'm not even a camera person myself. I agree, though, is that it has allowed me to be closer to many. I have the ability to see them more often. It's so true, right, Nancy? So Annette Henry says, well, I've taken about 2 selfies. Yay, Annette. Welcome to my tribe. I just always thought I was so square, and everyone actually who knows me would have expected that I would be a selfie lover. I would be out, and I have friends who are in their 60s, and they'd be like, come on, Sister Jenna, and I'm like, okay, and I was like, I don't know what to do. It's just, and it's fun, but I've just not been able to go there as yet. So sometimes I'm a little bit slow, or I do things a little back ways, but what to do? I have to love myself, right? Tom Probus says, I feel separated from the world and it's been a little frustrating. I get it, Tom. The Zooms and the electronic gizmos. Yeah. Yesvi's saying, hi, Yesvi. Om Shanti. How's our brother? Yes, yes. If it is going to be, it is up to me how I want to relate to each other. I get it. Thanks, Louise F., for your sharing, and Diraj, and Minakshi, and Devyani, and Abby, and Barbara. Very nice to always have you. People on Facebook are terrible to each other. I don't know, it's like you always have this choice, you know, like you can comment anything in the world, and instead people comment bad words, they attack you, and it just shows that there's so much disturbance in their spirit. Like they've become so disconnected from the soul awareness and God awareness that what's spilling out are the things inside of them, and it's hurting them, and sometimes it just can't stay there, and so it kind of has to come out. So it's what it is. S is also saying the time we took to drive from one place to another allowed us more mental resting time. Yeah, it used to be when Santosh, myself, Sister Geeta, Antonia, whoever, Happy, and once we took Sister Gudrun and Kartik and Sonia, we all used to drive up to Miami a lot. And that drive, even though it was, 16 hours, Santosh? 15 or 16 hours? I got caught up in all my messages, all my calls, pending items that I just never had the space. And S. Watson, I used to love it. I used to actually look forward to it. It used to be my resting grace, I tell you. So in terms of, as we look at real relationships, the essence of what I was trying to convey today is practice being soul to soul. That it's not necessarily just the features that you're looking at, but communicate to the soul behind their eyes and see their hearts, and imagine that that's you on the other end. And how do you want to be spoken to? How do you want to be loved? How do you feel like you need to be seen? Let's take a moment, and with everyone who's tuning in and listening in and who will tune in later, just turn your attention behind your eyes. Go into that virtual world behind your two beautiful eyes and recognize the soul sitting there, just the energy, just this vast space of light. And then send your good wishes to anyone that you know. Send your good wishes to me, to the team, to your neighbor, to the person above you, below you, next to you in your apartment building. It's such a big world, you know? And I think the more we get to value the power of our thoughts and the power of the mind, then we're going to move into another form of being servers for humanity. We will serve with our mental purity, good wishes and pure feelings, having the conviction and the faith those good wishes will definitely manifest, that they won't go to waste. Sometimes silence is so big, isn't it? It's huge. Let's end the evening with a beautiful meditation on the spirit of our innocence. And as we settle into that place together, just think about the kind of relationship you want to have with yourself, with God, and with others. Coming from your place of innocence. Because that's what a real relationship is about. It's how purely innocent you can be with others. Enjoy it, and I will definitely see you tomorrow. But thank you on behalf of all of us. Thank you. Let's take a deep breath in and go into this place.
Breathing evenly and naturally, I turn my awareness inward. I find a silent space within, and I feel my own presence. I feel the pure energy of my own essence. Just me. And for a few moments, untouched by the outside world, I am a pure, silent being. There is no one quite like me. I appreciate the special feeling that is me. And I appreciate my journey through life that has led me to the present. I especially remember my early years, my spirit of innocence, my pure vision and trust, my natural spontaneity. And I recall my growth to adulthood. I recognize how my innocent spirit became overlaid by many fears, doubts, worries and troubles. But now, resting in the silent stillness of my being, I remember who I am. I go beneath the layers of fear and doubt, and I view myself and the world with innocence. I create an image in my mind that expresses my innocence. Using my imagination, I take my innocent spirit to a special place in nature, a place I have been before, or a special place that I will now create in my mind. Perhaps a hidden valley full of wildflowers, or a serene, peaceful place by the sea. I focus on the details of my special place. I notice the shapes, the colors, the fragrances. And with a childlike innocence, my spirit begins to dance. My spirit dances naturally and joyfully, inspired by the beauty of my special place. My dancing spirit expresses my pure innocence and self-acceptance. Innocence moves me, and I dance freely. Feet gliding over the soft earth, a gentle breeze caressing my face and hair. My dancing spirit returns to stillness. And my eyes drink in the beauty of my special place. I absorb the peace and beauty of this place. It is my peace, my beauty. It is me. My spirit has once again awakened to its innocence.
Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying WiseIsh, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.